Hello everyone and welcome to another technically talking head video where I'll cover what the current state of PoE 2 is. But before we go on, as you've seen me on stream and such, I've been playing World of Warcraft, having a blast. So that's for the stream content. For the PoE content, there will be the Legacy of Fresia, which I will cover extensively once everything we know gets there, because I'll just do like a quick cover up. I'll also do the website stuff as you guys have already been used to. But in regards to PoE 2, this is what we have. We'll discuss, we'll talk. I'm sorry if this one becomes a long one. Hopefully it won't. So what they've said first is they've done 8 patches, 31 hotfixes, which is a good amount of those, but technically people don't care about how much you've done, but what you've done. So if people cannot feel the difference, they don't care that you did bug fixes and everything else. That is irrelevant to them. It's a great job from GGG, but just one thing to keep in mind, a lot of people don't care what you've done, but how you've done it. So with that being said, let's go over quality of life. They've added a lot of things for QL, so players have found something annoying and time consuming, so they've been trying to address them one by one. One is teleport around the map with checkpoints. Make smaller maps. Checkpoint system is decent. It should pause the game whenever you click a checkpoint. Make maps smaller. Make better quality maps. Don't make a map that's Narnia long and then put checkpoints to mitigate problems. No, this is a band-aid fix to a gaping wound, which are maps. Maps are too darn long, too darn corridory or mazy, whatever, with too many dead ends. Make better maps, or at least give those checkpoints, like place them in places where it is in a dead end, not at the beginning and the end of the map, and the map is like just a linear map. Like who cares about that when you can press B or press a town portal, whatever is keybound. So I would say make better maps, make smaller maps, and that's basically it for the teleport around map with checkpoints. I haven't used, actually wait, I have used it once or twice, the teleport with checkpoints, which is like whatever, to find one rare that's like there. It's there, you know. Anyways, overwrite items in sockets, which is that should have been a day one there. Whose ever idea was to have runes be permanent was a bad idea. Thankfully, they've come up to a solution. Well, they've invented a problem and then came up with a solution. That's how it usually is in game design. So having a rune overwrite, very good. Awesome. But there are a lot of smaller ones as well. There are a lot of QL updates and things that they will work out over the years, so we'll see how that goes. Now, they've been making QL balance changes like reducing the cost of respecking, which was a good decision. It is now in a very, very good state, at least in my opinion, what I've done. Making Dojo get you stuck less often, but you still get stuck a decent bunch on some monsters that have a circle-based model, however rectangle-based hitbox. We've all seen the lady, the poison lady that does a roll and then slam. We've all been carried by her. We've all been carried by the first boss of the game, the first Hillock, right? So they have like a circular model but rectangular hitbox, and you get stuck. And then, anyways, making reviving less easier multiplayer. Like reviving easier in multiplayer, that's fine, but one portal a map is a problem. I'll get that there. However, here's the biggest problem that I have. Please do what you said you're going to do in 0-2 plus. Make us respect ascendancy. I hate releveling a character in a campaign that takes me 10, 15, 20 hours to do, to test my character. I don't want to level with like do the crossbow thing, do the this thing. No, I want to test my character. And then I go through acts, and acts are more difficult than mapping, which is silly, but it has been like that in PoE 1 as well, because of all the mapping stuff and the amount of monsters and balancing and whatnot. However, I want to change my ascendancy. I do not want to leave my level 96, 7, whatever monk in Chayula monk to then remake an invoker monk. I've stopped playing the game because of that. I don't want to do it. That's basically it. That's the main thing for respecking. Anyways, improving the core experience of mapping. Let's see what they've done here. So basically here, they've said, endgame is one of the hardest areas to test. Absolutely fine, because it takes a long time for a person to get to endgame, especially in a game like PoE 2, which has an excruciatingly long campaign. At least for the first play, and then second is better, then third is better, but it's still like excruciatingly long. Quite a lot to play to get to the point, to form an opinion what is good and what is bad. Well, you just need to finish campaign to see that the campaign is bad in regards to the length of the campaign. Campaign maps could be 30 to 50% smaller and they would be mwah. But it is what it is. But then, to start with, improve the rewards of endgame by buffing drops from rare monsters and decrease the difficulty at the start of endgame was a good decision. A W, a clean ass W, because of more monsters, more people are dropping loot, which means more loot is being generated on the marketplace and so on. I do not count the economy as a thing because I am of personal belief that economy should reset in early access with every major patch, so 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 and so on. So that's my personal belief. Maybe not reset the characters, maybe be able to migrate the characters, just the gear and whatnot, or not the gear, just the levels or something, I don't know. But reset the economy. That's what early access game needs. It needs a reset of economy. But anyways, improving of rewards, very good decision. Now, balance adjustments to make within individual maps. This is like a rebalance. This is, oh, hello, this is early access. This is expected of you to do. So nothing to say here. This is absolutely expected. However, I would say here with the balance is having one death a map makes the game more hardcore than anything, not in the death way, but more hardcore in terms of focus. A lot of players like to watch something on another screen, maybe on a third screen, maybe a YouTube video, maybe a movie, maybe a streamer, you know? And I am like that as well. I do not like the idea of having to laser focus and then I turn my head just a little bit to read a chat message, and by the time I've read a chat message, I have died in the game because I haven't dodge rolled, and then kaboom, the map is gone, everything is gone, whatever you've done in that map is gone, whatever setup you've done for the previous hour is gone in that map. I don't like that. So that's my main concern with PoE 2. One death a map due to balance changes and whatnot is just like, get me out of this, right? Which it literally happens when you die. Anyways, one of the key realizations, it's important to have variety in tower maps. Nobody cares. They're excellent now compared to the first one, but nobody cares about this. You know what people care about? How many tablets we can put in a map? Why aren't there blessed orbs for implicits on a map? Why do I have to drop a tablet that has 5 out of 10 and then sell it for a quarter of the price than the one up there? Oh, towers can only do one tablet. Nobody would care about how tower maps look and what loot they drop or anything if the reward by completing them was good. Putting one tablet in on an area that has like 20 maps or so you have to clear the maps you don't want to be able to do maps that you want. No! I've played 1,000 Ashen Wood maps in Settlers of Kalgur. I've played 1,000 Strand maps 2-3 leagues ago. 1,000 beach maps. I want to play a map layout that I like. I don't want to micromanage if I'm doing a mire or not doing a mire to put then a tower tablet, which I can have one of, and then put a tower tablet, which I have only 5 out of 10, mechanics, and then one out of those 5 mechanics hits up a mire map. I physically cringe. I dislike that system. I love the towers and how they look, like how they're modernized them, how they actually look modern and such. I love it. But the reward is not there. Make us use like more than one tablet. Make us use 4 tablets at once, 5 tablets, overlap mechanics. We as PoE, at least one players, we want a lot of everything in a map. I want to sit down in a map and I want to bite on that sucker for like 20 minutes. And not be like, oh, I have to do this map in order to do that map, in order to do that map, so that I can put a tablet in this one, so I can put a tablet in this one and RNG proc that one, so I can RNG proc that one. So I have to waste 3 times of my life to enjoy one life. I'd rather not play the game. Which is what I'm currently doing. I'm voting with my time being presented in another game. Anyways, enough rambling, sorry. Once they realize that they've understood the number of bosses, we've increased that a lot too, and added a new boss tablet. I support, good decision. Bosses are amazing, bosses are great, even though you can just one-tap them, whatever. Bosses are great, we need more bosses, I support, however, the problem with one tablet still exists. And also bosses are 3 to 7 maps for some weird reason. We also added respawning to endgame pinnacles, good. Checkpoints for traveling in maps, which we've covered. Improved strong boxes, copy PoE 1, paste PoE 2. And made a lot easier to find citadels. Yes. Still, one portal a map is disgustingly bad. There's still a lot more to improve. Yes, absolutely. Itemization. Uniques are garbage. Even with improvements, uniques are garbage. Once you finish the campaign and you find a unique, you're like, oh, a chance shard. And that's the only value of uniques. Uniques are garbage, make more uniques, that will come in time. GG, well played. Fixing bad balance outliers. Okay, here's one thing. Whoever thought that you should one-shot everything and anything in a game is okay with low investment, your build should get nerfed. This was true with PoE 1, this is true with PoE 2, this is true with any other game. If you think your build should be like... I'll name drop a content creator because he is doing this as content which don't play his builds. Jungrown finds these extreme amazing outliers where he just finds quirky interactions, destroys content, and then everyone plays it, and then GGG fixes it, and then everyone is crying, oh, why did you fix it? Because he likes finding those things. He likes solving a puzzle, and for him, the puzzle is find the most busted thing. That's awesome! But don't think that shouldn't be fixed, because it should be fixed. So, yeah, those things should be fixed. Any other minor changes here and there? Buffing in a middle of the league is good. Nerfing in the middle of the league is generally bad and looked at... it looked very negative when it comes to players, so keep that in mind. Now, tons of changes to monsters, bosses to fix one-shots, improve telegraphing. They've done this a ton, yes. They've done this a ton, which is good. It still needs more. But this all comes to testing of endgame. Now, address the difficulty problems in Trial of Chaos and Trial of Sekimas, and then fixing the safe spots, which is also a thing, but as I said, it will take time and more testing. On the player side of things, improving the balance, but people still don't use 90% of the skills because build variety does not exist. End of the story. How can you fix build variety? Well, then do some other things with hands of action and wisdom. Like put, instead of it rolling only lightning damage, put it roll fire damage, cold damage, whatever. Like, so you have a chance of whatever. Divine Orb. Who cares, right? Like, just, this comes all to, the game is too young and it needs more. It absolutely needs more. Okay, some more overpowered player skills. I've covered this. Still nerfing things if they're totally egregious. Absolutely fine. Crashes and performance issues. Everyone had these issues, and these will come over time. However, here's one important thing. Windows as an operating system sucks. I do not know what is the deal with these companies, especially Windows, to hire the smartest people to do the dumbest decisions. But Windows 11 24H2 has been nothing but downhill. It's a garbage operating system. I want back on Windows 10. Oh, but guess what? Your stuff does not work well on Windows 10. So I have to be on Windows 11 because, you know. Microsoft fix. You have an option to send a report, X-Crash report. So if you have troubles with drivers, with Windows Update and whatnot, always update your system to the latest one and do the X-Crash report in the command where they have actually said so, and do it a few times, and that will report to them so they can fix it easily or easier. Okay, the biggest problems. Now, this is the big one at the end. Let's see what they've addressed. They've said this: major balance issues with many player skills builds, both high and too low. I agree. 90% of skills are not being used. There's no skill variety. Therefore, there's no build variety. Therefore, everyone plays the same thing. Boring. Next, not enough character build options, including build-defining uniques. This will come in time, as I said, like this will come in time, but you can't put Hands of Wisdom in action, which is BIS for everyone attack-based, and then on the same boss, put like Pandemonious, which is a shadow of what it was in PoE 1. Like, come on, make them good uniques, dude. Like, make them good. Make uniques great again. You know? Muga, right? So anyways, endgame progression balance is off. Absolutely off. It requires time. It's early access. It requires time. I cannot stress this enough. The balance will require time. The problem is they have to mitigate the negatives before they can focus on adjusting mini negatives. Mitigating the negatives is basically fixing how mapping works, the whole entire system, favor map slot, more tablets, blessed orb so we can roll implicits on tablets, and so on. I have still like 100 irradiated tablets I will never use. Why? Because they're useless. Oh, look, the whole area is +1 level. Where are my mechanics, bro? If I can drop a bro bomb, right? Like, where are my mechanics? I want to juice the living hell out of the map. I go into PoE 1 and I have like 13 to 20 breaches in a map, and I'm like, adrenaline, yes! Right? Loot, stuff, adrenaline, boom, kaboom, go! However, in PoE 2, they wanted to make the game slower, but they've made the game slower? And like quotation marks are slower and not the actual game, even though there's no Quicksilver Flask and whatnot. But they haven't made the game slower. They haven't made the game tactical even that much other than bosses. But then you can still one-shot those bosses. So balance. And not enough cool things to find in endgame. You mean nothing to do in endgame? As someone who has played the game for, what, a month and a half, I am around month and a half in a game where I am like, okay, that's enough, I'll play another thing. Keep in mind, I stream a lot. I sometimes play the game off stream. Most of the time I do. But I gauge the value of the game and how the game is by the amount of time I played the game off stream. PoE 2, I've played off stream the first 2 weeks. And then nothing. Maybe 3 weeks. And then nothing. I haven't been interested in the game at all because I do everything that's the same. I don't want to do everything that's the same for 2, 3, 4 months, 5, 6, 7 now with Settlers of Kalgur. I don't want to do the same things. I like resets. I like refreshes. I like new content, however small it is. I like covering it. I like playing with it. But there's nothing to do in PoE 2 with the current limitations that we have. I would have played the game a lot more, played Expedition, more Delirium, not just with Distills, more Ritual, more Breach, more of everything. If I could put 4 tablets in a map, in a tower, or 5 tablets in a tower. I like going kaboom and nuclear in a game. That's like Path of Exile. I can do that in 1, I cannot do that in 2. It will come over time in PoE 2. Now, the one major thing that actually was a thorn in this entire post was this. We don't have an exact timeline for 020, which means if they don't have an exact timeline for 020, that means it's at least a month, maybe 2 months away. Legacy of Fresia should come by the end of February, and that's going to be for a month, which means 0.2 is minimum April, which means 326 is minimum May or June at this point. Like, honey, get 20 developers, get them pumping PoE 1 content. I want to play Path of Exile. I want to. But there's nothing to do in the game, and that's why I'm playing other stuff. And I'm back to my old game, which was World of Warcraft, which I dearly do enjoy, yes, but I haven't played that game in 3 years, which means in 3 years you've done an excellent job with the game. Well, technically 2.5. And the last half a year, I was just like, I need content, I need content. I do understand I play the game a lot compared to any one of you watching, listening, and such. But keep in mind, if there's someone who plays the game for 10, 12 hours, 8 to 12 hours a day, and if they've hit the saturation point at around 200 hours, a regular person, let's say, plays 2 hours a day, maybe 1 hour a day, that person is getting to that content in 2-3 months, maybe 4 months. Here's one thing though. If us, I dare say, content creators see problems that arise in later stages of the game and regular players don't, that doesn't mean that regular players are wrong or the streamers are wrong or content creators are wrong. That just means the content creators have gotten to the point where a regular player will need 2, 3, 4 months to get, so we can give our feedback earlier. That's what's important, giving feedback so that by the time regular players get to that content, they enjoy, because contrary to internet belief, casual players are what makes the audience, not the hardcore players, not the top streamers, it's the casual players that make the entire audience and everything. So, with that being said, let me just cover PoE 1 quickly. Legacy of Thracia is coming. I will cover them. I won't be making like individual videos. Maybe I do if you guys want to come over to the stream, or post down a comment below so you can tell me if you would like to see that kind of thing. Me checking out the ascendancies. So far we've had, by the time I record this video, 4. So we will see how it goes with the rest of the 15, but I will do like a mega coverage, and I will put them on the website as well. I'm just taking a relaxed approach to PoE right now because I'm honestly bored with the game. But that's for that, and the regular PoE for Dummies and everything content will continue, including the boss guides and everything, will continue with Legacy of Thracia update. By that time, I will see what I will make on the video side, but streams are going to be mostly World of Warcraft and such. So thank you so much for listening to this talking head video. It has been a feedback loop discussion, right? But I want to see the game thrive and improve. That's what I want to see, because I like this game. This is the only game I invest my money in, not counting sub to WoW, that's irrelevant. But the game that I have t-shirts, hoodies, and stuff with, which I don't do with other companies. But I want more transparency, more content, more things, more stuff to do. That's what I want. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Like the video if you did, sub if you don't mind. Thank you so much for crossing 2K milestone. You guys are awesome. And I will see you in the next PoE 2 video and regular stream. Have a good one.